production.
Yeah. Okay.
A bit emotion, but production.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bugsy's Corner. Welcome to Bugsy's Corner. Sit back and enjoy.
Close. Okay, we're clear. And hello, everybody. This is your favorite chaotic YouTuber, Bugsy. How you doing? So, I was just thinking, Sonic being and Sonic versus being connected. Like Sega, it dawned on me. Sega's actually trying to give us a better story than Colors, Lost World, and Generations, which Generations is totally like. I've always said Generations, it's fun and I love it, and I'm not gonna say, and that's never gonna change just because. Oh well, the consensus changed, so I must change as well. Generations to me will still be fun, but when I think about it story wise, no, it could have been way better, and we could have had Jaleel White like. Sega didn't even try, from what I've heard, other than trying to bring Brian Drummond into the mix. Which, again, Sega, you guys need to really, if you're gonna bring back Brian Drummond at all, you need to actually you actually need to work with him, because he's a fan favorite that a lot of people, including myself, like, and we want. And if he ever does return. In any Sonic game, you need to negotiate a point that works for him and for you guys. Just thought I might say that. And they were gonna have Jaleel White to be classic Sonic. So I think in an alternate universe somewhere, we do get that game. Also, instead of Sonic Boom, we get the SAM game. We get the SAM universe continuing in game form. Yeah, I'm thinking Tenchi GXP being continued in novel form. Which, again, guys, let me just say this. I've said this a lot of times, but I want to reiterate. Tenchi GXP isn't bad. It's just not. You just got to think about it as it not being really connected to Ryoki in any way. That you can actually have fun. I mean, it's more connected to season 3 though, because Tenchi's. Oh, don't even. That's another video for another day, because season 4 is out. Of Tenchi Muyo, and oh god, you got. Let's just say, if I didn't like OVA 3, OVA 4 is looking kind of good, but get more girls after Tenchi's cock, and I'm just like, and his own aunt now. What the fuck? But that's not the point. Because trust me. You keep thinking of if you keep thinking about all the girls that Tenchi gets with, but when you start thinking about all his Jiraiyan family members who want to jump his bones, it's just gonna weird you out, and you're gonna probably go a little weird and pissed off at the same time. But anyways, not even that. That's for another video. Probably I'll do a Tenchi Conundrum Part 2 or something. Okay. But I want to just give Sega props, because they tried to do a continuing story with Shadow the Hedgehog, which they kind of succeeded in. Yes, to me they kind of succeeded in, because even though you had to play 8 different times to get the true ending, which I'm just saying, seriously, that was too much. That was fucking too much, and you know it. But here's the thing. They're trying again, and they've done it with Mania, and now they're going to do it with Forces. And I want them to keep the resistance. I want them to keep the resistance. Yeah, you can say, oh, but Bugsy, because of Infinite, it's the reason why Eggman is even able to take over the world because he had help. Yeah. I understand that, but listen to me, listen to me, Chaos Nation. What if, even though they stop Infinite, even though they stop whatever it is he's planning, right? What if, even though that they did, Eggman still has enough control to actually not control not control all the world, but half of it. And because of that very reason, because of that very thought, he technically owns that part of the world. Now, we could say that Gunn tried to stop him, they couldn't do it because they're a bunch of biggity bitches and child killers. It's, like seriously, I know a lot of people go like, "Oh, Bugsy, you're gonna bitch and moan about Gunn again." I'm like, I just hate the motherfuckers. How are you just gonna shoot a kid? I don't care. Like, I don't care, man. I don't care if it was your job. I'd have been like, I ain't fucking shooting this kid. I'll shoot all you motherfuckers before I shoot a kid. I ain't having that shit on my conscience. God knows I already have a lot on my I have a lot I have to deal with already. But enough about me depressing myself for a minute. Anyways, but what if Eggman basically still takes over half the world, even though Infinite is gone, his influence is no more? What if they? I'm just saying, a thing that kind of still needs the resistance, because I like this idea and I want them to keep it just for a little while, because we need a new change in the status quo to these games. You know, we need a change, and we need to keep that change there for a while and see where it goes. Because I mean, maybe it's just my desire to kind of have it kind of Setting-esque. Maybe it's my desire for that. It probably is. But think about all the potential that can happen from this. We got a more serious Sonic because he isn't gonna forget what he saw Eggman do. He's not gonna forget what Eggman is capable of. And that's the thing. Even if this game does end and Infinite's gone, Sonic is not gonna forget this shit. And he better not, because this would show him, hands down, this would shape him not to be so jokey, you know, not the whole baldy McNose hair, not really taking Eggman seriously. This will force Sonic, I think, in later games to really start taking Eggman seriously. Because, you know, given the proper tools, even a bozo like Eggman, can be a serious threat. And Sonic, I think Sonic is going to remember this. It's like gonna stick with him. Do I think Sonic's gonna be all serious, dark, and brooding like a certain black and red hedgehog? No. But he's never gonna forget this is what happens if he isn't around to stop Eggman. And he's gonna be a little bit more serious from now on out because of this. You know? And because of that, he kind of keeps the resistance around. Just in case, if something ever does happen to this level, he needs to have his friends ready to take down Eggman at any cost. And I know they're like, "Oh, Bugsy, that sounds like a DeviantArt wet dream." No. Before I get angry again, because I know a lot of people say this to me on a daily basis. That sounds like a DeviantArtist's wet dream. Listen, I understand the stigma between DeviantArt, but no, This is something that was in the comics now. I know some of you don't read it, and some of you don't even bother because, you know, the Archie comics are no more. But in the comics, even though Robotnik from Endgame died, they still treated Robo Robotnik or Eggman as a serious threat because in his world, he destroyed and roboticized everything. He like and Sonic has seen that and Sonic saw that world. Sonic saw that world where everybody is a roboticized minion of Robo Robotnik. That is something he never forgot. And now when he even and you know and you can kind of say that's how he felt about in game as well. Even though Sonic would always like crack with one-liners on Eggman, he never forgot what happened what happened in game. He never forgot what happened because even though I think the post Genesis wave, even though I think when the Genesis wave happened, I still think Sonic still remembered in game. It just happened differently. A few things were changed up. A few things were changed up, and a few things were kind of lost and gained at the same time. But I feel like in game still happened. One of my mental por favor is I need to charge my my PlayStation. Well, I'm gonna beat Sonic Mania tonight, so I need to get ready. I need to not get ready, but I need to make sure this is in top condition right now. Also playing Mario and Rabbit, so yeah, doing that too on the side. I love the Switch games. I hope Nintendo really does win. I hope Nintendo really does win this whole lawsuit thing with game. What were they called? Game Meister, whatever the fuck they were called. I hope they win. Oh, Game Vice. I hope they win because I ain't giving up my Switch, man. Fuck, I'll hold on. I'll hold on to Mario Odyssey and Sonic Forces on the dear life. I'll be like, fuck. Like, nah, Game Vice. Fuck you guys. I'm keeping this. I waited so long to try and get a Switch, and I finally got it. And you bitches want to take it away from me? Fuck you. Y'all don't have to. Even if Nintendo recalls the Switch, I'm still keeping on to mine. Fuck that noise. Fuck that noise. Okay, fuck that noise. I think if worse comes to worse, they're just gonna they're going to kind of redo the Switch. If worse comes to worse. But anyways, sorry. But back to the main point. Back to the main points. That, I'm just saying, I don't think Sonic is ever really going to forget what Eggman did. And whenever Eggman, because I feel like he's gonna use the Resistance from now on out because whenever Eggman has a thing of unspeakable power, he'll always have intel. He'll be like, "Yo, Tails, Amy, what's Eggman been doing since I've been kind of on vacation?" Then they'll tell him, and he'll be like, "Oh, well, okay, he's got the scepter, he's got the new scepter of darkness. I gotta go stop him. All right, thanks." And if the Resistance is in the Sonic games from now on out, think about this. This Sonic could basically use the Resistance. I mean, I already said that. Fuck. See, guys, this is what happens when I don't have a script. I'm just like I'm just going at every possible conceivable angle here. But see, here's what happens when I don't get a script. That's pretty much what happened here. But it's a great way to keep the characters, even if they're not playable, active within the story. It's a great way to keep the resistance there. You know, to keep Knuckles and Amy and Tails and all the other characters, even the Chaotix. And now and Azuka said, and again, guys, now don't think I hate Azuka. I don't agree with him, but that don't mean I hate the guy. Like, seriously. Just because Azuka makes fucking mistakes doesn't mean you should say, "Oh, I hate Azuka." But you know, stupid people do because they think that they can do it all by them. They can make games all by themselves, and you know they can do it better when you haven't seen proof of it. But that's neither here nor there. But you know, but I do disagree with him because now since there's a classic dimension, Mighty and Ray exist in the classic dimension. There is no Mighty in the modern dimension. Like, but the modern dimension and the classic dimension kind of do have the same, are kind of the same. They only cut off after freaking generations. Yeah, guys, like this is where I think everything's separated into a different dimension. You know, generations, because classic Sonic knows about his future, or at least a good enough portion of it. And because of that, since Sonic Generations pretty much takes, I would say it really does take place after Sonic, like in between Sonic 2. Like, it takes place in between Sonic 2 and CD. That's where they took classic Sonic from the timeline. So yeah, classic Sonic split off. So yeah, they did make a modern and classic dimension, but who's to say that maybe if the classic dimension went forward, nah, probably not. Forget what I was about to say. I don't even know what I was trying to say because you know that wouldn't have worked. That needs to be an alternate Sonic Adventure and an alternate Sonic Adventure 2. That would make sense. But you know, I still think Mighty exists in the modern dimension because the modern dimension is just the main timeline where Sonic grew up. And you guys could say, "Oh no, Sonic is still like in his teens." Nah, that dude's old as me. He's in his 20s. He's in his goddamn 20s. We can all pretend like he's still a teenager, but boy's in his 20s, okay? Roger Craig Smith gives him that base, which kind of does tell you, yeah, Sonic aged. Sonic aged. What else? What else? You know, I know a lot of you think Sonic doesn't need a big story like that because it's so convoluted. But when you're a comic guy like me and so many others, you can take a convoluted story. Like, you guys ever read Final Crisis? I swear, there's so many freaking storylines that intersect and cross and twist all over the place. It's hard to keep up with it, but when you actually do, you do. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm just a comic reader and I know when stories get convoluted, there's an easy way to explain it. You know? And to me, this isn't really, like everybody keeps saying, oh, this is going to be too convoluted and too weird because time travel. All you guys need to understand is Sonic came from this classic Sonic came from another dimension because the Phantom Ruby, everything that was in Sonic Mania, and then it led up into Sonic Forces, and the Phantom Ruby probably found a host, and here we are. That's not convoluted. When people say it's convoluted, you just need to think about it. You need to break it down and just think about it. I just say, oh, this story's convoluted and complex. I don't understand. Just break it down, guys. Break it down. It's like, think of me telling you this. Like, this is hooked on storylines, man. Just break it down. Just break it down to its most easiest components, and then just break it down to a way that you can understand it. That's all I'm saying. Let me see how long we've been going. 20 minutes. I'm just gonna call this the Sonic Ramble because I don't really talk about anything in particular. I don't talk about one thing in particular. I'll just make this a Bugsy Corner episode. Okay. Wrapping up. A lot of people say like this could be a way of introducing the Freedom Fighters. As much as I would like the Freedom Fighters in a game, and guys, like Sega says, like, oh no, I don't really think there's a lot of like legal things with the Freedom Fighters because Sega of America and probably Sega Japan does own them, so it doesn't really matter. They can be used. I just feel like they can be used, and if Sally or Broder or Bunny or any of the other non-home Freedom Fighters designs clash with Sonic's more modern design, well, that's why we got the other comic designs from the Archie comics, which I don't think they can use. I don't think they can even use those. Fuck. So they would have to, well, they'd still have to redesign them still, but I still think it's even though I kind of lost hope, I still think it's possible. You know, because every time they have ever been kind of tried to be introduced in a Sonic game, like some higher up has always said no. And you know, personally, I'm just like, why? What is your reasoning behind not letting fan favorite characters such as these into your Sonic games? And you know, people are like, well, the Freedom Fighters are pointless because Sonic doesn't need them. Well, you know, I found that quote like on a Sonic forum like probably a few months before Forces, before we really started to understand Forces. And I'm like, well, he needs something like the Freedom Fighters right now, so that means Sonic does need help every now and again. You know, that's the one thing about Sonic. That's the one thing about modern Sonic games that they really show. And I know it's corny, and I know it's cheesy, and some of you are gonna say it's cringy. But really, certain Sonic games are really about the power of teamwork. I mean, even in Shadow the Hedgehog, when they were all fighting the Black Arms, they were all working together. You know, which I kind of want to see even though it never happened, I kind of want to see a version of that when they're all fighting the Black Arms, and we just go through Sonic's perspective through the whole thing. That I would like to see. That would be more interesting. Now, that's about it. That's all I really have for you guys today. But basically, yeah, I want the Resistance to stick around. I don't think Sonic is going to truly forget what happened in Forces, and because of that, Sonic is going to become a lot more serious. Graf, Pontac, I just want you to keep him regular. I want you to not make him so sticky he can't be taken seriously. You know, a lot of people say like Sonic's more cool when he doesn't talk. To me, Sonic will always be cool. And when he talks, it just opened another door. Mario's not even allowed to talk because freaking Nintendo's just like, well, Miyamoto is like, well, Mario shouldn't talk because what would he say? And it's a big thing. If you want to know more about it, you should watch Super Mario T's video on the whole, adding his Paper Mario thing, because it really goes into why Mario up until Odyssey hasn't really gotten any really big story. It pretty much explains a lot of it, so there that is. I think that's about it. I'm Bugsy. Thank you. I'm Bugsy, your favorite chaotic YouTuber. Thank you for your time, and peace, Chaos Nation. I'll see you later.
It feels Monday through Friday, including weekends. It feels Monday through Friday, including weekends.
Hey, check out the channel for Chaos Flow.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, check out the channel for Chaos Flow.
Yeah. Okay.